Hi, I'm Troy McGinnis from deliverytower.com. In this video, I want to show you the new AI engineering performance dashboard that's part of Delivery Tower's front screen. Let's take a look. So when you log into Delivery Tower, it gives you this high-level overview on the Home Dashboard tab. It starts off with the assessment status, anything that's wrong or that could be improved with configuration, and then moves right into the recommendation section, down into some strategic performance, and then down into where your opportunities are to improve and the lessons that you've learned from actually delivering. Let me explain each section in more detail. So before we understand how that view is designed or built, what we need to understand is what the inputs are. Now, initially, when you start off with Jira items and GitHub issues or GitHub commits, which are unattached to pull requests, the first step that gets kicked off in the workflow is we find similar work. We do some semantic searching to understand, has work similar to this been delivered in the past? And if so, or even if not, we use that information and score value and risk of this new incoming item. And that helps us sort which issue is safe to do, valuable to do, and any of the 6 factors that we will show in a second. What we also can do by finding similar items is we can take the lessons learned from prior delivered items and show clarifying questions to make sure that don't forget to ask about these things, because in the past that has come back to bite us. So what we're trying to do there is close that feedback loop of when we've delivered similar work in the past, things have gone wrong. We're trying to front load that so that it doesn't happen again. So that's what happens when new initial items are created or new issues are created. So whether through Jira or whether through GitHub. Now, once that moves into a pull request, an open pull request gets created, we again find similar work to that pull request, and then we can, drawing on the lessons we've learned historically, show review tips. In other words, now that it's ready to go, here are some things that you should definitely review because in the past, they've gone wrong. And that helps, again, bring the lessons of the past back into now to make sure that before being merged, we do the reviews in a better, improved way. Now, once we do merge them, that's when we understand and do that learning. We understand the friction so that we can highlight the value and risk next time, and we generate the lessons. So let me show you how all that wraps up into this front level view. Now, what it requires, of course, is that incoming items are assessed, and we give you this top level assessment status for items and issues, for open pull requests, and for merged pull requests. And you can see here we're getting behind. We're not reviewing. We haven't told the system or let the system review these things in the past. So these might have come in overnight, and we need to catch up. So it tries to show the ratios, and what we're trying to do is encourage keeping ahead of the automated assessment process. In an ideal world, if this is connected up to continuous integration, these will always be green and you won't have anything unassessed, in which case this section is hidden. So the configuration status goes through and checks that you're connected to the GitHub repositories correctly, that you're keeping up with the assessments of the pull requests, and also some hygiene tasks, that you have company prioritization rules, that you have strategy defined and things like that. So what we do is we hide this if everything's right, and most cases it will be. But if something gets missed or something gets deleted or is blank, we highlight it here to make sure that before we do the reviews and give you bad advice, your configuration is correct. Again, this will be hidden probably within the first couple of days of using Delivery Tower. Now we move on to the real meat of Delivery Tower. It shows you the next 5 recommended items to start and hand off to agentic engineering, and it shows you the next 5 open pull requests that it suggests merging. And it shows you for each of them the clarifying questions that you need to ask before it's ready to go to agentic engineering. And when it's an open pull request, it gives you a list of lessons that historically have come up where something has been merged and then regretted. So again, what we're trying to do is pull the lessons of the past into now, and that's based on similar items, our semantic searching capability to find out what they are. So really what we're trying to do here, and you get to choose how to balance those different 6 dimensions that we want to balance and align from safety and value. But what we're trying to do is roll it up to just give you the next 5 things to do from both agentic engineering perspective and from a merging perspective. Now, below that, we have our operation sort of trend lines where we take the dimensions of the work and we show you the trend of that, the score of that, the average over the prior 4 months based on, or 4 weeks, depending on how you set it up, for both incoming open pull requests and for merged pull requests. And what we're trying to do here is incrementally improve that the work we're choosing to merge has a higher strategic fit, has higher customer value, is clearer for the AI agentic coding agents to understand and implement, that we understand how to verify it, and we also understand that it's got a manageable change surface blast radius, and that we are choosing things which historically haven't gone through a lot of human hand-holding in order to do the final merge, what we call review friction. So as an organization starts getting better using agentic engineering in a good fashion, in an improving fashion, you'll sort of see that these trends will start improving both on the open pull requests, so the work we're choosing to do, and also in the merge pull requests. Any sort of degradation here is an opportunity to improve. But how do you know? Well, this is where we actually take the lessons from the merged pull requests and we heat map them in both the keyword areas of what you're working on inside your particular repositories and code bases, and also the different types of friction that we score and measure, whether it was hard to implement, whether it was hard to verify, whether it grew, whether there was a lot of hand-holding and manual review processes and comments, and whether once we did release it, did it stay released, or did it have a fail in prod and have to be rolled back? So what you're really going after here is something about usage accounting and webhooks. We're not doing a good job of understanding what we had to do up front because it's starting to grow once we move into implementation. And if you want to dig into the detail of each of these, you can sort of move down and look at each of those different sort of high issue sections and read the actual lessons that we took from having actually delivered that work. So this dashboard isn't meant to be the entire detail. Of course, you can dig into each of these and go right down to the issue and the pull request level if you want. But as an opening view of an executive dashboard for understanding how an organization is improving over time and what it should work on today, we're hoping that this home dashboard is just the ticket to help your agentic engineering improve and you deliver more. Again, check out deliverytower.com. It's for helping you software organizations score issues and pull requests, prioritize them, and understand why they're doing what work they are, and learning from prior delivered work. Again, I'm Troy McGinnis, Delivery Tower. Check it out, deliverytower.com.